UKCIP deals just with impacts and adaptation to climate change. So leaving aside the issue that we need to address the causes of climate change by reducing emissions, and if you like, that's the part of the agenda that most people have grasped. We're saying no, there will be some climate change that is now unavoidable because of past emissions, and it's prudent to manage those changes as well. Part of that is, if you like, dealing with impacts that we do know about, and part of it is really just building up the adaptive capacity so that people can deal on their own with impacts that we don't yet know about.
Mm-hmm.
I've only been involved for half of those last 10 years, so over 5 years. I think the most interesting thing has been adopting the risk approach, which arose because of a publication we were asked to produce, which was a risk framework, which we did, but in producing that, it actually changed our thinking about how to approach climate change and adaptation very fundamentally, so that climate change is something remote, it's in the future. Climate risk is very much more immediate, both in sort of sense for people, but also in time. And it changes what we need people to look at in terms of, it moves us from a, if you like, climate scenario approach to a risk and vulnerability approach, which seems to be working well with a lot of stakeholders, who aren't climate scientists, and for whom that climate science approach is, I think, quite off-putting. And so that was a major sort of step forward. One challenge is actually managing the growth of this agenda, which is it's an opportunity for us, certainly. It's a challenge because while we were just an information focal point, it was very easy to be small and it didn't matter. Now so many people want detailed information, they want help with the process, and it's growing exponentially at the moment. We can't keep up with that, so we're constantly having to find ways to multiply our effort. The other one, I guess, is we may be enjoying a short boom while climate change is top of everybody's agenda. That might not last. Either a new topic will come to dominate the press, or we end up with a cold decade, and climate change would really struggle, I think, to raise itself up the agenda if those happened. I think it's an Oxfordshire that's much more aware of not only what the weather does day to day, but what the changing weather does in terms of what it does to people. So we're encouraging people to take note when they have a weather-related incident, which is very often extreme weather, to note what it does and what they do in response to that, so that they can build up a picture of their vulnerability to climate extremes, or the opportunities that climate extremes present, as a first step towards managing changing climate. And it's very much that knowledge of what climate can do and how you respond that will inform how you plan for the future. The countryside, being able to go out and enjoy the weather any day of the year, being able to live quite a low impact lifestyle, and enjoying a city that's actually starting to allow that to happen. It is a huge issue.
Yeah.
We're going to over the course of the next few decades, we're going to completely redesign the way the world's economy operates. And that's an enormous issue. And at the same time, we're going to redesign our lives, our buildings, a lot of our built systems to operate in a climate they've never operated in before. So yes, it's a big issue. Deal with it.